Start streaming now. I think I may have started. Oh, looks like I'm on. Let's check to see if my channel is up and running here. Oh, I am live. Look at that. I don't see me live. Should I be seeing myself live? Can you see me? Let's see.
What's the big deal about a first quarter kick?
Let's mute that. Okay. All right. Okay, I think I am live. Let me just check the sound here. My channel is up and running here. All right. I'm up and live. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. I will have to check back with. I don't know how to check my chat without going back to this, but we'll check in now and again. Yeah, I want to get back into streaming. Haven't done it in a while, so I figured I'd do like a quick hour here. It's about 5:30, so I'll go to about 6:30. And we're going to talk about what else? Piney, South Jersey. New Jersey's fourth winter storm. Freezing rain. Freezing rain up north, Pineys. So watch yourself up north. Down here, it's not so bad. Just basically rain, just miserable. But we'll get into a little bit of stuff here. I wanted to first talk about Bob Menendez. Bob Menendez, for those of you who don't know, is our senator in New Jersey, one of our senators. It's him and Cory Booker. Menendez has a reputation for being corrupt. Surprise, surprise. There are some organizations that rate the corruption of members of Congress, and there's one in particular, I think it's called Crew, that rates Menendez pretty high. Pretty high. I think he came close to being indicted for bribery, but it just didn't happen. But he just sent me an email, which kind of annoyed me. It was a January 6th email. You know, about that terrible day and how we lost almost. So, it's pretty dumb. Pretty dumb. But in particular, he wrote about Brian Sicknick, who was the Capitol officer who died, and he was from New Jersey. So naturally, he would mention him. And he basically implied in his email that, Brian Sicknick died valiantly, fighting the forces of evil that attacked the Capitol. And yet, if you go to Wikipedia, and this is Wikipedia. Wikipedia is not exactly known for getting things right, especially when it comes to politics. But even Wikipedia has the following entry. Brian Sicknick, a United States Senator, or a United States Capitol Police officer, died on January 7th. It was the day after the riot. After having two thrombotic strokes the day after he responded to the attack on the Capitol. He was placed on life support after the strokes and soon died. The District of Columbia chief medical examiner found that Sicknick died from stroke, classifying his death as natural, whereby a death is not hastened by injury. And additionally commented that all that transpired played a role in his condition. Excuse me. His body lay in honor at the Capitol Rotunda before his cremated remains were buried with full honors at Arlington National Cemetery. In the intervening period prior to the chief examiner's ruling, the cause of Sicknick's death was subject to confusion and controversy. Within hours of his death, the Capitol injuries sustained while on duty when he was, quote, physically engaging with protesters at the Capitol. The next day, the U.S. Justice Department he suffered defending the U.S. Capitol against the violent mob who had stormed it. Yeah, you know, the violent mob that stayed between the velvet ropes. Meanwhile, media citing law enforcement sources incorrectly reported for weeks that Sicknick had died after being struck in the head with a fire extinguisher during the unrest. So, that was pretty bad. It was pretty bad that it got reported at all. It was a complete lie. He was never even hit by the fire extinguisher. So, and I remember seeing that and going, oh God. Because who would think that the media would lie so blatantly about a guy dying in a historical event? And it's historical either way you look at it. You know, that was going to be examined again and again and again. I mean, it's just disgraceful how his death was reported. Imagine being the family. It's really unfortunate. Really unfortunate. And I assume this was all prior to the vaccine, so... Did we have the vaccines on January 6th? No, I don't think we did. I don't think anybody had it yet. And it's a shame, too. I mean, he doesn't seem like an unhealthy guy. Let's see, he was born in 78, so he was what? He was 43. 43. And has a massive double stroke, essentially. That's just crazy. But it's even crazier that after all this time, you know, he's not blatant. Oh yeah, the forces of evil. I mean, seriously, who does he... I guess, you know, Democrats, dyed-in-the-wool Democrats, who think nothing of getting an email from their senator. And he went on and on about himself, too. Oh, how he had a injury and how he's recovering or whatever. What I'd like to see from Bob Menendez, not that I ever will, is him voting against big government spending. But, you know, when's the last time a Democrat did that? So anyhow, that's Bob Menendez, everybody. Let's see, is anybody in on the chat? Let's just pop over and see. No, nobody in the chat yet, but if you get in there, I'll check in once in a while to make sure if you have any questions or whatnot, if anybody pops in. So checking over at Jersey 101.5. There's always New Jersey news over here. The bodies of ex-spouses found in Rochelle Park, New Jersey home, police say. That's not good. That is really not good. You know, that's always... it's usually... I mean, this is why you don't get involved in other people's... snap. When a relationship goes south, man, anything can happen. It really can. Andover nursing home found piling bodies. Now has over 300 plus COVID cases. Now, that's a shame. That's a shame. Well, I can't really say much about the beer virus, as you know, but hopefully these people recover. Hopefully Omicron continues to be mild. A lot of crime. Always a lot of crime. Here's the freezing rain. Yeah, it's mostly up north, as you can see, this pink area up here. Down south where I am, it's just pretty much melting the snow. Thank God. Well, this is weird. North Bergen with garbage truck. Eesh. He crashed into a garbage truck on his way to work. People drive like maniacs, especially in New Jersey. Do I drive fast? Sometimes, but, I tend to do that when I'm on a highway, got a lot of room around me. But, when you're driving to the point your car's shaking or you're zooming in and out between cars, that's too fast. That is just too fast. If you're alone on the highway, I get it. Yeah, you go 75, 80 on a highway that's mostly empty, sure. If you're using your signals and you're being careful, sure. But I've seen people, my God, I do generally 70, 75. People pass me like I'm standing still. It's just too fast. That means you're doing like 90 or 100. You should not be doing 90 or 100. That's just too fast. I don't know where you've got to go, but it's not that important. Especially at night in South Jersey, there are a lot of deer on the road. Lots of deer. It's no joke. You hit a deer going that fast, it's probably coming right through your. I've seen guys, man, they've gotten killed over that. There was a guy near my parents. A deer got hit in the opposite lane, and got thrown into his lane, coming in the other direction. Went right through his windshield, killed him instantly. He careened into a telephone pole, knocked out the power for like half the county. It was ridiculous. So you got to be careful. Opulent 2.3 million college for sale in Cherry Hill. I don't know who has the money for this, but God bless you if you do, I guess. It's a nice place. I like the look of that. Seems to be pretty big for a cottage. I don't know what constitutes a cottage. Seems like a mansion to me. It's huge. It's 2 stories. It's got a lot of bedrooms there. It's a pretty big place. Plus you got the drive up and, oh my God, look at that stairwell. Deluxe water park opening at the Showboat in Atlantic City. Oh, that's good. The Showboat, if you go to AC, the Showboat was always the place to have fun. They had the bowling alley. It was great. We would, my friends and I would go down, we'd do a little gambling. If we won a little bit of money, we'd take those winnings and go bowl for free. And that was like our night out. And then we'd go get something to eat and go home. If we had a really good night, we'd go to like a nice restaurant, depending. But yeah, I think they got rid of the bowling alley. But this will give people something to do. You need stuff to do in Atlantic City other than gamble. Because quite frankly, gambling in Atlantic City, it's okay. It's not great. When it first started, it was awesome because you could play like in Vegas. They had dollar blackjack, so you could sit there and hang out and have a good time. Once you get the tables up to $10, and you'd be lucky to find a $5 table these days. You gotta come down there with like $200 minimum. And I get it. There are a lot of people there. Prices go up according to the demand, but it's a little pricey. $10 a hand. If you're just playing for fun. right? When you can go to Las Vegas and play quarter craps all day, quarter dime craps. I mean, that's fun. You can make crazy bets when you're playing that low, and you can learn how to play the game before you move up to a real table. Let's see. Let's check in. See how I'm doing. Anybody here? No, nobody here yet. That's okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't mind Atlantic City. It's okay. I'm not like a serious gambler. I mean, poker room, because you're not playing against the house. You know, you could have a nice time, play a little poker. Hopefully, you have who are there to relax and not play the game. Play the game. That's always a negative when you sit down at like a blackjack table and somebody's a little too intense about it. But that's why Atlantic City, I mean, really, I get it. They make money gambling, but it's so, you know, it's part of the experience. I mean, you want to have a nice experience when you go down to the casino. You want to have fun. If you can't really afford it, you know, if you got to blow like hundreds of dollars just to gamble, it's too much, you know, for people who don't really gamble all that much. You know, they're going to bring $50, and if that's like 5 hands of blackjack, I mean, that could be gone in like under 10 minutes. Anyhow, New Jersey arsonist pleads guilty to making threats against schools. It's weird to have that sort of job title. New Jersey arsonist. I'm New Jersey arsonist. I guess. 10-year-old brigantine New Jersey surfer sets 1,000-day surfing goal. Wow. He looks like a surfer, doesn't he? Is he? He's not albino, is he? I think he's just very, very blonde because he surfs all the time. He must always be out in the sun. A lot of stuff about New Jersey real estate. New Jersey's 4th winter storm in a week. Rain, freezing. Yeah, that's the same one. Been pretty mild winter so far. We're halfway through January. I mean, it's already the 9th. Hopefully we get through the rest of it with no snow. I'd be happy if we see no snow. New Jersey Assembly rule. Negative tests regardless of vac status. Again, I can't say too much about this because it's YouTube, but, you know, to make this going to come back to bite the Dems on the butt, I think. There's Little Joan barking her head off. Hopefully no one's coming in to kill me. Walmart temporarily closes 3 more New Jersey stores. I think this was because of outbreaks. Because everybody's getting sick. Marine helicopter crash near Joint Base McGuire-Dix at Lakehurst. Is all one base now? McGuire-Dix and Fort Dix and Lakehurst. No money, no problem. 10 free bridges connecting New Jersey and PA. Oh, let's see what this is. I didn't realize there were that many free bridges. Okay. Let's see. The Riverton Belvedere Bridge. It's up north. Northampton Street Bridge. Connecting Easton, PA and Phillipsburg, New Jersey. Don't know that one. The Rigersville, New Jersey, and Rigersville, PA. Well, that's interesting. The Upper Black Eddy Milford Bridge, stretching from Milford to Upper Black Eddy. I know Milford. I didn't know there was a bridge there. These bridges are so small. The Ullertown Frenchtown Bridge, connecting Frenchtown, New Jersey, and Ullertown, PA. Center Bridge connects Stockton with Solebury, PA. Jersey. New Hope Lambert Bridge. That's I think that's up near some of my relatives. The Washington Crossing Bridge. Oh, I think this is this is near where they do the reenactment every year. That's such a small bridge. I didn't realize. The Calhoun Street Bridge. Morrisville, PA, and Trenton. The Lower Trenton Bridge, a.k.a. Trenton Makes. The World Takes Bridge. Trenton doesn't make any more, unfortunately. Need some industry back in Trenton. And that's it. Definitely not the Tacony Palmyra. Wow. Who knew there's so many bridges for free? I mean, I'd probably have to go way out of my way to get to one, but crazy. All right, let's see. What else we got here? Multi-sensory exhibit opens nights at New Jersey's Ground for Sculpture. That's a great place. Have you been to Grounds for Sculpture? Grounds for Sculpture is really nice. My brother has a membership there, and sometimes we go, and it's really nice. It's great to walk around. Apparently, he went. They have this laser show over the sculptures, and they make them move and do things. Why, they don't actually move, but it's an optical illusion. So, it's pretty cool. And they got a great restaurant in there. A little pricey, but pretty nice. Let's see. Gravy or sauce. These restaurants make the best red in Central Jersey. Well, I'll be the judge of that. Espo's and Raritan. Nope, haven't been there. Joe Italiano's in Maplewood. If I had to bet money, probably Joe Italiano's. There's one in Hamilton. It's really good. That's not the one, though. Must be a different one. Leo's Rendezvous in Hoboken. And Patricia's of Homdale. Okay, looks good. Villaggio Icara. Don't know that one. Lenny's in Lavalette. In a plaza there. Looks good. Mama Rosa's, Nocta Road in Hamilton. Getting closer to me. Mama Rosa's in Hamilton, Mercer County. Oh, there it is there. That's a small place. Looks good, though. Josiana's in Middlesex. It's making me hungry. For a chain, Chicky and Pete's makes amazing homemade red sauce and their mussels. Come on. Really? You're going to pick Chicky and Pete's? Look, I know. Seasoning on the fries is really good. But beyond that, I not a huge Chicky and Pete's fan. I did go to the original. Called Chicky and Pete's. And, but I'm not a huge fan. Villa Maniano in Bordentown. That looks familiar. I might have been there. There's the sauce. There's just a nice big square of the sauce. Don't know what I could tell from that picture other than it's red. So, all right, good on the various Central Jersey sauce places. Let's see if we got anything else interesting here. Let's check in real quick, see if anybody's in the chat. No one in the chat. All right, go back here. Hi, Joan. You want to come say hi? Come say hi to the chat. I don't know if you can see her. She's in the background over there. Gotten her back in her house. This was a weird story. I don't think I mentioned it. A ShopRite co-worker was stabbed 13 times in her torso. What the hell is going on at ShopRite? This was from a few days ago. The Hamilton Mall closing. Apparently a pipe burst. So, crave a real New York, New Jersey bagel. This video teaches you how to make them. Yeah, I made them. They're kind of pain in the neck to make bagels. You need molasses. That's one key ingredient. You got to boil the dough and then you got to cook them. So, all right, Joan. Fire damages a strip mall in Howell. 50 New Jersey communities proposed for food desert funding. Did yours make the list? Well, this is what I warned about for other communities outside of New Jersey. See, we have experience with this because New Jersey is still recovering from the riots of the 60s and 70s in terms of the food desert situation. They're trying to build new stores. Unfortunately, we didn't have, the riots that happened last year. New Jersey was pretty much spared because, as we all know, Antifa is considered a terrorist organization here. So we didn't really have too many problems with riots. All right, let's see. If you're a Harry Potter fan, you'll want to... Not that big of a fan, quite frankly. New Jersey Department says Sparta bear to be euthanized when caught. Why? Why would you euthanize the bear? An 81-year-old woman was bitten on the leg Monday night, and her English spaniel died. Oh, that's a shame. That's a shame. It's a shame for everybody. Asbury Park concert honoring Clarence Clemens moved to February. Italian eatery coming to Chatham, New Jersey. Check out their first pizza. 20 products that could be sold with Bruce Springsteen songs. That's a list? Well, I mean, it's New Jersey. I guess I can check out the list. Born to Run, Pepto-Bismol. All right, these are just jokes. These are just jokes. Dumb list. That's a dumb list. Come on. I want more Italian restaurants. That's the kind of list we need. More restaurant list. The ones that are still open. Let's see. Trenton must pay $200,000 to emergency radio system provider. Okay. Probably need it. I mean, Trenton needs an emergency radio thing. New Jersey blocks you from ordering certain wines. I don't know why New Jersey would do that. Let people pick their own wines, New Jersey. Let's see. I want to get one more decent list here before we wrap up here. New Jersey considers bond or forfeit law for animal cruelty cases. Oh, look at the puppies. Hazards in 2021. A fun list. Need a fun list. New Jersey may look to retired teachers to fill staff shortages. How about just letting people go back to work? How about that? 7 rides New Jersey misses from Six Flags Great Adventure. All right. I guess we can end on that one. 6 rides we would like to see back at Six Flags. The Great American Scream Machine. I vaguely remember that one. It was a roller coaster. Free Fall. Stuntman's Free Fall. Not a huge fan of the whole free fall thing. Taz Twister. Now, isn't this the... Don't they just keep renaming one of the main roller coasters? Wouldn't this... Yeah, it says here. Medusa was rebranded. Here's the Viper. They're all roller coasters. I think they're all the same roller coaster. Batman and Robin, the Chiller. I sort of remember that. I don't remember it being called the Chiller. Rolling Thunder. That was a big one. Look at all the stuff. And that's it. Basically, doesn't Great Adventure just keep taking the roller coaster they have and renaming it? You know, repainting it, altering it a little bit. Aren't these all the same roller coasters, is what I'm saying. I'm almost sure. Maybe not. Anywho. Let's see if anybody's in the chat. Nope, nobody in the chat. Alright. Well, I'm going to check some of the trends over at Gab. See if there's any other headlines I missed in my news blast. News blast was a little short today, I know. Not a lot of news today because it's Friday. I wanted to talk more about Alec Baldwin. Alec Baldwin wants to find the truth after allegedly shooting cinematographer. Isn't it weird how he's framing that? I know it has nothing to do with New Jersey Pineys, but it's just bizarre that Alec Baldwin could be involved in this shooting and then talk about it like, you know, somebody else the shooter. I need to find the truth. You were there. You were there. Were your eyes closed? Find the truth. Wouldn't you know the truth? Wouldn't you know most of it? I mean, he seems to want to imply that he was specifically sabotaged, which I don't believe for a second. I think this was all a tragic error. Weren't doing their job. I mean, the armorer, ultimately, I think she was responsible. This is just my opinion. I think she was responsible. Probably loaded up the gun to do some plinking and then forgot to unload it. Or confused the bullets. I mean, you should never have live ammo on a set unless it's very, very clearly marked or there for a reason. Otherwise, it shouldn't even be on the set. This to me is the result of people just not taking their job seriously, being too cavalier about what was a safety issue. A lot of people, including Alec, because Alec did fire the gun, and he did fire it in the direction of somebody, and that is on him. That part of it is on him. Now, I don't think he did it on purpose. I think it was an accident, but he should not have been aiming that anywhere near a human being. Blanks or no. Blanks or no. So. And you could tell from his reaction how upset he was. So nobody believes he murdered the cinematographer. But, I mean, the guy had the gun. I mean, he fired the trigger. He pulled the trigger. Part of it's on him. He has to know that. And he's producer. He is one of the producers of Rust. That makes him responsible, regardless. Everybody who's a producer is partly responsible. Now, you can argue, like, Alec didn't hire the armorer specifically. That's probably true. That wouldn't be his department, but he certainly brought on, his share of people, probably all actors. But it's possible he brought on the armorer. Although I think if that was the case, we'd already know about it. But still, he's acting like a crazy man in my view. He keeps making videos. He keeps doing. How is it helping him to make a video like, we've got to find the true culprits here? Dude, you were there. You should stay out of the limelight, listen to your lawyers, and stop hoping to taint the entire jury pool. I don't think it's possible, because they're going to specifically look for people who haven't heard about this, and there's no way, it was a big story when it hit, but, a lot of people just don't follow the news in general, and they're not going to follow movie news. Even though this was a pretty big story, a lot of people have probably already forgotten about it. So, I don't know what he hopes to do. Who really haven't heard about this, and I think they will blame him. He will get some kind of charge. I don't think he'll do any time. I think his lawyers will probably plead him down to something that's no time. The guy's 65 years old. What does putting him in prison do? It's a I guess he's just defending his money, right? Because they're going to sue him. Oh, they're going to sue everybody. I guess that's the real battle here. He doesn't even consider himself, in danger of going to jail. He's just worried about, I assume, being sued. Keith Olbermann. Man, what a caricature he has become. I still cannot get over the transformation, because I remember him back in the Bush days, and I would watch him and I'd say, this guy, he knows a few things, and he would be outraged about the Bush administration, and I was outraged about the Bush administration, so yeah, I was on board. Now it's like, dude, it is of the Democrats ever? Is there even a little tiny criticism of Biden from you? It's amazing how people are so caught up in their TDS. And he is, in my view, the poster boy for TDS. The absolute poster boy. The kind of stuff his video... And again, who is he doing these videos for? Is he... to get him a new TV show? I don't know. Geraldo smacked in the face with humble pie after relentlessly attacking purebloods. By the way. Yeah, some stuff I think dropped today or the other day about the virus. Can't get into it. So, because it is YouTube. So I'll just let the beer virus pass on this one. Although I'm on Gab Trends, so it's going to be hard to. Yeah, this January 6th coverage at CNN really bombed their ratings. Fox regularly trashes CNN. There was an article about that, but it's like, what did you expect? The January 6th thing, I mean, if you wanted to really cover it, you could cover how poorly it was covered the first time. That, to me, would be of interest to people. But it's like they have this audience of... and they can only lose people by lying to them, right? They can only lose people. They can't gain people with a lie. Like, no one's going to like, oh well, I didn't know Brian Sicknick was killed by a fire extinguisher. Everybody's telling me that's not true, but see you then. No one's going to be narrative now. So why keep lying to people? If anything, come clean. Give yourself some credibility, for crying out loud. Chicago Teachers Union delegate to report members who attend work. Chicago Teachers Union delegate to report members who attend work. Worst. Teachers have turned into something I never thought I'd experience. When I was a kid, being a teacher was a pretty respectable position, and I respected most of my teachers. 90% of them, I would say, were great people, taught me stuff. I can't imagine being a kid now and listening to these. And I've talked to my zero respect for these teachers. They've gotten dumber. So I just don't. The union, is it the unions? Maybe that's it. That just attracts dumber and dumber people. I think it's partly the regulation that they have to just keep following the same things, and they just keep changing things, like teaching the kids fractions. When I was still subbing, I had to teach the kids fractions, and they had this insane way they would do it, which was supposedly easier, but it just wasn't. It just wasn't easier. It was so much easier just to show a kid a pie and say, well, if you cut it in half, that's 1/2, and that's 1/3, 1/3, 1, 2, 3. I mean, it's so simple to do. Same thing with 4th and 5th and 6th. I mean, you get it. You just count the pie pieces. Instead, they had this bizarre thing where they would do this extra math, and it was so confusing. I had a kid in my class go, "Can I just do the fraction?" And I said, "Yeah, just do the fraction." I didn't understand it. That was the worst part about it. Like, I didn't understand why they would do it that way. And I just told the kids, well, and you do the math the normal way. But it's like, I don't know what it is about people who feel that they always need to change something. They have this idea in their head that change is better. There's two things I've noticed about people with regards to changing things. One is they think more people involved is better, which is usually never true, right? Because more cooks spoil the stew, as they say. So like when I'm my clients, I'll sometimes have a client that just wants more writers involved. I'm gonna quick drop in, see if anybody's in the chat. Nope, nobody in the chat. Oh wait, someone's in the chat. Only caught the last few minutes. Welcome. Good to see you. Good to see you. Anyhow, if you have a question, I'll be on for a little while longer, but I'm gonna go back to the Gab chat. So I don't know how to check the chat without looking at the video. It's weird. Anyhow, so yeah, I mean, with the teachers, oh God, dog, I don't know what she's barking at. With the teachers, it just seems like too many of them doesn't help, and just changing things for the sake of changing them to have something new doesn't help either. It's like sometimes the old ways are the best ways. especially when it comes to math. You know, it's just numbers. It's just numbers, and you just do it over and over again, and you eventually get it. You know, but so, not very clever in my view. Let's see if got any more of these news stories. Oh, this was something else I wanted to talk about a little more. Got about another 10 minutes. This Antifa guy they caught in Florida. Excuse me. I said before, you know, Antifa, they had all these members, and as they're losing members, until they get down to that core of criminality. I mean, to me, you got to be a pretty hardened criminal just to even consider. Now, fortunately, he didn't get to use it, so maybe he wouldn't take that final step. But the fact that he was lurking near a conservative rally, I mean, was he really gonna light the pipe bomb and throw it into the crowd? I mean, that's what it appears to be. He was close to doing that. So it's frightening. It's frightening that these people would get to that point, but they've been so radicalized. I mean, think about it. Think about what kind of person you have to be able to do that. To be able to throw a bomb into live people. Oh, Greg Evans is here. It's pretty bad. Teachers illegally jabbing kids, stuffing her kid in the trunk of a car. The TikTok commie, the TikTok teacher pushing the rainbow agenda. I don't think they're just isolated incidents. Yeah, I mean, I guess the unions have just so radicalized these teachers. You know, when I was subbing, you would go into the break room or the faculty lounge, and you would see nothing but Democrat, pro-Democrat political stuff. And that stuff is not supposed to be in a faculty lounge. When Chris Christie was still our governor, they were organizing against him. Now, Christie was anti-teachers union, anti-unions in general, but there was I mean, that's a law. You are not supposed to be doing anything political on the taxpayer dime. But no one enforced it because everybody's a Democrat. Like 99% of those teachers, they were all hardcore Democrats, and the few that weren't kept it to themselves. It's just like the entertainment industry. It's like these unions become the political equivalent of the extension of the Democrats. And that's not right. It's not right at all. The pay for their loyalty. I mean, look at what the unions got after Biden got in. Nothing. Greg Evans. Again, thank God the local authorities caught the Antifa guy. Meanwhile, the DOJ seems more focused on parents at school board meetings. Yeah, it's true. It's ridiculous. The DOJ. I mean, the FBI needs to be, I think, eliminated. I think it's redundant anyway. I mean, when you think about it, it's like you got state police, you have the CIA. The FBI is only supposed to operate within the confines of the United States. It doesn't. It's sent all over the world. So see the FBI all over the world, and the CIA is not supposed to operate within the United States, and it does. Really, you only need one national police organization. Or international one, I guess. But yeah, the FBI from its very early beginnings was corrupt. I mean, you could read about the history of it. So I would just get rid of the whole thing, but it's not going to happen. They're never going to get rid of it. They'll reform it. I don't know what you could do to reform it, short of just cleaning house and replacing basically Republicans once the Republicans come back. But then you run the risk of the opposite problem. However, because the Republicans are more populist, they would tend to put in more populist Republicans, which would make them probably more honest. So, but really the politicization, it has to stop. Yeah, so Joan is like out of her mind in the other room. You would think like an axe murderer had walked in. She's just hearing a noise outside. Let's see if there's any more headlines I need to go over again. 1619 Project author found at odds with parents about American schooling. Wow, what a shock, huh? What a joke she is. Look at her hair. She looks like a clown. Trump fundraiser. Donors want forensic audit of campaign spending. Maybe. Okay. Fundraiser Caroline Red said donors want a forensic audit of the... Well, knowing Trump, they'll find nothing, but it's just more... I don't know how he stands it, quite frankly. The endless scrutiny. Man, they go after him for everything. Are you done barking, by the way, Little Joan? You want to say hi to the chat? We're almost done. To chat. Come on, people want to see your friendly face. Forget you. I don't know if she's she might be barking at... I got something cooking. But it's in the oven, so it's fine. I think that's about it for the headlines. That's about it. So anyhow, anybody got anything else to say before I wrap up here? I'm going to just get my dinner going. But I want to do more streams. So maybe I'll start doing a Sunday stream. Sounds about right. So this was just sort of a bit of a test to see if I could get the software up and rolling again. So yeah, in terms of other stuff, I mean, like it's so hard to talk on a stream too, because you can't talk about the beer virus in any length, or you have to be really careful. I mean, I don't want to get flagged. I already got flagged once for a video. God, it was like last year. I got a strike, which disappears in March, but still, it's so ridiculous to get a strike from a video that's over a year old. It's like, why even bother at that point? Just delete the video, and I don't know. Like, if it takes to be on your platform, I mean, are you really doing your job? I don't know. Anyhow, I guess I'm going to wrap it here. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, we'll see about doing one next week. If you have any suggestions for the stream, or any other questions for the future, give me a shout, let me know, and we'll see you